Tonight we are going to discuss a very controversial issue. That is, what is the Buddhist concept on heaven and hell? Because people have their own concept, belief, imaginations regarding the hell and heaven. In fact, if heaven and hell are closed down, I don't think any of those existing religions can survive. Religions depend on heaven and hell. And now you can understand how religious people have illustrated, exaggerated, and introduced heaven by creating temptation, hell by creating fear in your mind. The Buddha has taken an entirely different aspect. He did not follow the existing belief that heaven is above and hell is underground. It is clearly mentioned in his teaching, those who believe that hell is located under the great ocean or under this earth, created their own imagination by measuring how they suffer. In reality, there is no such ready-made place located here in this world as hell. This is the clear explanation given by the Buddha. I think all of you have heard living beings in this universe categorized into 31 groups. Let us start from hell. It is not a place. How they spend, how they lead, how they suffer, how they enjoy their life, the whole universe. So categorize into 31 groups. Start from hell. Then come to animal kingdom. There is no separate world for animals. Animals are everywhere. Then a spirit, ghost or devil. There is no separate place for spirit or ghost. But I do not know how Chinese have discovered a separate place for hungry ghosts. These hungry ghosts are very obedient ghosts. There is a proper time for them to come out. There is a certain period for them to stay here. They do not overstay even one day, knowing the immigration restriction, They go back. Only Chinese have discovered this. Not only that, they are very clever. They are the only ones who have opened a bank in the hell. Americans who have landed on the moon also still could not open a bank in the hell. Not only that, they also produce currency notes valid in the hell. Others could not produce any currency note. So Chinese ghosts are very obedient. But all the other ghosts come and disturb us every day. There is no time limit for them. Then come to human. So human beings belong to one of these 31 groups. Then come to Devaloka. In English we use the word heaven. Actually that word heaven is not suitable for Devaloka. There are 6 kinds of Devaloka. In English they say heavenly realms. Jatun Maharati, Tavadinsa, Yama, Tusita, Nimman Rati, Paranamita, Vasavati, names also given. Then come to 16 kinds of Brahma realm, Brahma world. Again, 4 group of Brahma, the mental energy exists without visible physical body. Another group, physical body exists without active mental energy. They are under anesthetic injection. These are the 31 group of living beings exist in this universe. Now, how are we going to accept that belief? The heaven is above, hell is below. Do you know what is the temperature here under this earth? The sun, 10,000. Under this earth, 1,000 degrees. When this temperature increases up to 30 and 40, we cannot tolerate. Do you think that living beings can exist under this earth if the temperature is 1,000 degrees? Not only that, modern equipment or instruments are very advanced today. Therefore, you can drill this earth. See whether you can find hell. Instead of reaching hell, he will be landing in another world, another country, if not under the sea. So there is no hell under this earth. Therefore, hell is not a ready-made place created by the God or exists naturally, according to the Buddha. Where there are suffering from the very beginning up to the end of our life, even without any interval, in any form, that is hell. Therefore, we should not think after our death we will go there to suffer, or sent by the God as punishment. Therefore, Buddhists do not accept this. Definitely there are heavens and hells. Just now I introduced as Devaloka, although we use the word heaven. Not only one particular planet or the one particular world system. Hells and heavens are, you can find all over the universe. Very rich man, known as Kutadanta, one day approached the Buddha and told him, you know, we are rich people, we have no time to come and meditate and observe 8 precepts and attend the religious services, but even then, we like to go to heaven after our death. Is there any shortcut? Then the Buddha asked, why do you want to wait until you die to experience heavenly bliss? While you are here in this world, you can experience heavenly bliss if you know how to handle your life. This is the Buddha's attitude towards heaven. Not only after our death, while we are living here, we can experience heavenly bliss if you know how to handle this life. Definitely after our death, existence again takes place. Whether we believe or not, belief is not important. These are natural occurrences. Birth, sicknesses, old age, death, all are natural occurrences, no need to believe. If anything happens after our death, that is also natural. Whether you believe or not, whether you can understand or not, existence again takes place as natural occurrences. You should not think, all those who say that they do not believe in rebirth, just because of that they can stop rebirth. nobody in this world who can stop death.
God also cannot stop rebirth.
But each and every person individually, by knowing, through proper understanding, the more we exist, the more we have to face enormous physical and mental unsatisfactoriness. Every minute in our life, we experience this unsatisfactoriness, unpleasant and frustration, disappointment, every minute. Therefore, existence creates enormous suffering, unsatisfactoriness. Those who can understand this situation, they try to slowly, step by, reducing their craving and selfishness and all the evil forces from the mind, try to see the end of it. No more physical or mental disappointment or unsatisfactoriness or sufferings. That is called salvation, liberations or deliverance or freedom. Every religion talk about salvation. They too admit, here we have no freedom, here we have no happiness. Therefore, we have to work to find out, to maintain our bliss, our freedom, our satisfaction. Therefore, we have to work for that. Simply by worshipping, praying, offering to any god or any Buddha, it is impossible to find out this salvation. Buddha mentioned this very clearly. Tumhehi kiccang atappang akhataro tathagata. Tathagata is another name for the Buddha. You have to work for your own salvation. The Buddha cannot work for you. God cannot work for you. But the Buddha can tell you what to do, how to gain this salvation. By following his guidance and instruction, if we really follow, definitely we will be able to find out our salvation, not by worshipping or praying. Heaven is not the final goal. Heaven is not the salvation. There is no salvation in heaven. For a long period, in certain world systems, living beings can survive. But there must be an end. But many of them do not know that because of their ignorance. The Buddha's advice is not to aim to be born in such places where we can lead a long time, either by experiencing sensual pleasure or worldly pleasure, or calmness, or tranquility. One day there will be an end to it. After that, nobody knows what will happen to them. But as human beings, we have extraordinary intelligence. This intelligence you cannot find in any other living being. That is why we are called Manushya, Mana, mind, Manusya. Definition is given. Chinese philosopher defined this word, human, Manushya. Those who can develop their mind by developing sympathy, kindness, honesty. If these good qualities are in their mind, so we can regard them as humans. These are the qualities of humans. Western philosophy also analyzed this. Especially Greek philosophers analyzed. Those who have sense of reasoning are called human or manush. We cannot find this sense of reasoning in other living beings. They too have a mind. Their minds are limited for their survival, for their pleasure, for their protection, for their enjoyment. That's all. They cannot go beyond that. Only human beings have this extraordinary intelligence. So sense of reasoning we can use, we can understand this is moral, this is immoral. This is wicked and cruel, and this is good and kind and compassionate. This is the way how we analyze by using reasoning, sense of reasoning. Animals we can train by creating fear and beating. Because of fear, they follow. They do certain things that we ask them to do. In circus, they do wonderful things. The way how they were trained. You might have heard on many occasions, suddenly the tiger or the lion attack the master and kill on the spot. That means they have gone back to their animal nature. No sense of reasoning. Because of fear, they follow them. But when they go back to their animal nature, they forget this. Only human beings have this. But according to Buddhism, the further development of the human mind or the human being is the only one who can develop his or her mind up to that maximum level. What is that maximum level? Gaining enlightenment. A god cannot become a Buddha. A Brahma or Deva cannot become a Buddha because they haven't got that intelligence. Here you can understand real validity of human life. We cannot compare with other living beings, human life. But unfortunately, we have certain evil forces in our mind. Greed, selfishness, then cunningness or crookedness. Cunningness or crookedness we cannot find in other living beings. Only human beings. That is, the development of that intelligence, they twist and turn. Then can tell the lies. Only human beings tell lies. Do you know that? Others do not know how to tell lies. They have their own language. Small children also do not know how to tell lies. When telephone is ringing, a child goes and takes, hello, can I speak to so-and-so? Then they tell, Daddy, telephone call. Then Daddy say, you tell Daddy is not at home. Then this child say, Daddy says he is not at home. How innocent they are, because they do know how to tell lies. But we know how to do that. This is a development of our intelligence that we twist and turn. Others do not know how to do that. So, heavenly life or Devaloka or hell, fire, the way how we suffer, we create our own heaven, we create our own hell. It is not that God creates heaven or hell either to reward or to punish. There is nobody to reward, nobody to punish. Karmic action itself create the effect. Every action has reaction. This is also scientific explanation. Every action has its own reaction. Then, how long can we experience this bliss in Devaloka? Do you know Devas and Brahmas have no religion? They have no particular religion. Only human beings. Religion is discovered by the human mind. All the other religions originated in heaven and come down to this earth. Buddhism is originated on this earth in human mind and reached the heaven. I see the difference. That is human mind. Scientists have discovered many things by using their intelligence. That is also development. But this development they have abused by producing nuclear weapons. That is why Albert Einstein says, science without religion is blind. They do not know what they are doing. Today, within half an hour, man can destroy the whole world, turn into ashes, discovered by the human mind, not by the ghost or devil or God, human mind. President of America, he pushed one button, within half an hour, the whole world turned into ashes. Nuclear weapons are ready, waiting for the signal. Blast at once. They say even the moon also will be affected. Yes, not only this earth. That is human intelligence. That's why Albert Einstein says, it is, they are in the dark. Religion must be there. Science without religion is blind. They don't know what they are doing. But religion without science is lame or crippled, not active. It is happening today. All those religions or religious authorities who wanted to go against the scientific discoveries are in trouble today. 1998, Pope John, living God on this earth, announced. You might have read in the newspaper, we have paper cuttings. Human beings were not created by God. They come into existence due to gradual development of evolution. They had a losing battle for 100 years with Charles Darwin, with his theory of evolution. Today, they say yes, human beings are not created by the God. That is what is happening to religions today. That is why Albert Einstein says, religions without science is lame or crippled. In the West, those who have developed their understanding through scientific education, they come to know religious beliefs are mythologies. They blindfold innocent people. They misuse. Therefore, they are proud to say that they have no religion. There are many free thinkers in this world. They have no God, no heaven, no hell, no karma, no rebirth, no soul. These are the ingredients of every religion. To them, there is nothing. But do you think they behave as barbarians just because they do not believe in any religion or any God? Some of them are far better than those who claim that they belong to this religion or that religion. Why? Through their understanding, these things are wrong, immoral, wicked, cruel, harmful, dangerous. They don't know what to do. Through their understanding. Not because of fear of God, not because of hell, not because of punishment, but through understanding. Again, they do a lot of good deeds, services to others, to release their suffering, their old age, sicknesses, poverty, their troubles and problems and difficulties. They do something to release those people without expecting any reward from God, without thinking of heaven, but through understanding. To me, actually they are more religious than those who claim that they have a religion. They keep away from bad things, either because of punishment from God or hell. If there is no punishment from God, if there is no hell, they can do any wicked, cruel, dangerous thing. They have no sympathy, kindness, understanding. Again, they do a lot of good work, services, thinking that God will reward us, or we can go to heaven and enjoy our life. If there is no God to reward, if there is no heaven to go and enjoy, they don't want to do any service to anybody. The Buddha wanted to introduce this kind of religion through understanding. No, that is why you cannot find commandment, religious laws, religious punishment in the teachings of the Buddha. Through understanding. Not because of Buddha. He said, don't accept my teaching thinking Buddha is a great man. No use, because you never realize. Without depending on Buddha, we can understand when you use our common sense and understanding. Recently I was invited to give a Buddhist talk in a Catholic church. After my talk, somebody asked this question. Now you say, the Buddha says like this. We say, Jesus says like this. Who's correct? Then I told him, you can forget your Jesus. I can forget the Buddha. Use our common sense. Then we can understand who is correct. Example. The Buddha says, we should not steal. Jesus says, thou shalt not steal. Do you think without Buddha, without Jesus, we cannot understand that stealing is wrong? Why do you have to depend on Buddha or Jesus for that? That is the Buddha's way of teaching, through understanding. In fact, at the beginning, there was no religion. Through their experience, human beings understood so many things. According to modern scientific discoveries, living beings existed on this earth more than 200 million years ago. When you watch television, you can see how they interpret certain creatures like crocodile and cockroaches, a scorpion. They say more than 200,000 million years ago they existed on this earth. That means they existed in this world before God created this world. According to their holy book, only 6,000 years ago God created this world. H.G. Wells, a well-known world historian, he says, when you study geology, we can understand it has taken millions of years for this earth to cool down and settle down. But when you read our Bible, only 6,000 years ago God created this world. Bertrand Russells, who had no religion, very highly intellectual, free thinker. In his book, Why I Am Not a Christian, I have read this more than 25 years ago. He has written, among the founders of all those religions in this world, I respect only one man. He is the Buddha. Why do I respect him? All the others made false statements about the beginning or the origin of this world. This world was created by so and such time. It shows how poor their understanding capacity. The Buddha never made such false statements. That is why he said there is neither beginning nor end. Because he knew what this world is. Therefore I respect him. Even such agnostics also respect the Buddha. So, we should not accept certain religious concept and belief just because people come and exaggerate it and try to influence us. They may come and tell you, if you do not accept our God, you go to hell. If you accept our God, you can go to heaven. Then there is nobody to ask, that heaven is for you, not for us. Why should we go to your heaven? That is for you. You know, as Buddhists, we have 6 places at Devaloka, introduced as heavenly bliss. We can choose heaven, but you cannot choose. You have only one. You don't know what to say. Why do you want to surrender, my dear friend, here? Without thinking. There was a well-known writer in America, Ingersoll. He says, instead of going to heaven, I prefer to go to hell. Why? All the intellectuals are in hell. Scientists, psychologists, great thinkers, philosophers, free thinkers, rationalists, including the Buddha, all are in hell. Why? They did not believe in Creator God. According to them, those who do not believe in Creator God are in hell. If I go to hell, I can have nice time with those intellectuals. Then he says, heaven is good for playboys. Because there are no intellectuals in heaven. I see how they joke, you know. Everything is changing here in this world, according to the science as well as the teachings of the Buddha. We have never heard anything from heaven or hell for nearly 2,000-3,000 years. So we do not know actually what is happening there. We think it's still the same old heaven and old hell. But recently, we had some good news. God telephoned to Satan. Then asked why there is no news from me for a long time. They are very good friends. Then Satan said, I am very busy, not like in those days, because now there are so many engineers in my place. They have produced electricity. Now we have air-conditioned room, all the electric gadgets. Then God said, you cannot do that. It is against the law. You cannot convert hell into heaven. If you are not going to stop this, I can take legal action against you. Satan said, I am not worried. I have more than enough lawyers here. Here you can understand. A lot of changes have taken place in heaven and hell. if everything is changing, how can hell and heaven remain without changing? So, this is the way how those who know how to think, how to understand, they cannot satisfy by thinking that we can go to heaven through the influence of God, or we have to go to hell just because we are going against certain religious principles of belief. So, now what is, you can ask this question. In that case, what is the direct answer to this question? If there is no particular place where hell is located, a particular place where heaven is located, then what is the Buddhist attitude? Just now I mentioned, please remember, heavens and hells are everywhere all over the universe, where living beings experience most pleasant, most pleasurable, most peaceful, most contented and happy and prosperous life, regard these places as heaven. And all those living beings who suffer from birth up to the last breath, whole life is nothing but suffering. Now we are not in hell. Why? No doubt we suffer. In between we have interval to laugh, to joke, to enjoy, again suffering. After a few minutes or a few hours, again you can laugh and enjoy. After a few hours, again we have to suffer. Therefore we are not in hell. That is why easily we can understand the nature of life. Do you know Buddhas never appear in this world when human beings are enjoying their life up to the maximum limit? People never listen to the Buddha. At the same time, Buddhas also never appear when all these human beings are suffering, nothing but suffering. The Buddhas never appear. When sufferings and pleasure both exist together, they can balance, they can compare, they can understand, then the Buddhas appear and explain, point out. Otherwise we cannot understand. So, we should not believe what people come and talk about, this heaven and hell. They say, although you have committed a lot of bad deeds, bad karmas, if you believe in God and pray, God will come and wash away all your sins and send you to heaven. You believe this. That person, a culprit, who has committed a lot of sufferings among innocent people, God is keeping quiet. Allow him to do all the wicked things. When he is going to die, he says, oh, I believe in you, please wash away all my sin. Then God comes suddenly and wash away all his sin, send him to heaven. All these victims are suffering. No God to come and give us this. You believe this. This is the biggest weapon that they use. What is that? According to Buddhism, your Buddha says, he cannot wash away your sin. But our God says he can wash away your sin. You accept. You don't know what the Buddha has said. Yassa papang katang kammang kusalena pitiyati. These are beautiful sayings of the Buddha. You must remember this. If we have committed certain bad karma earlier, due to our ignorance or craving or grudge or ill will or enmity, we have committed certain bad things. Now we don't know what to do because Buddha says he cannot forgive our sins. This is the answer, solution given by the Buddha. Yassa papang katang kamma kusalena pitiyati. When you realize that you have been committing your deed, stop through your understanding, not because of hell or fear of punishment, knowing that it is bad. From that day onwards, try to cultivate and develop your way of life by creating kusala karma. What is kusala kamma? Kusala kamma does not mean by doing some meritorious deeds, aspiring worldly material things. Go to heaven and enjoy life, to be rich, to be born in rich family. They do lot of meritorious, not this kind of meritorious deeds. Kusala kamma means whenever we perform some good deeds, by reducing our craving, by reducing our anger, by reducing our ignorance, then cultivate and develop and develop and develop. These are kusala karma. Take for example, Angulimala, murderer, who has killed nearly thousands human beings. He met the Buddha. He realized the mistake that he had been committing, decided to stop, follow the Buddha, become a monk. From that day onward, develop his mind through meditation and developing, attain arahanthood. After that, attain nirvana. Bad karmas have no chance to come and catch him. That is what the Buddha says. You are the only one who can forgive your sin. Nobody else can do that. Remember that. The Buddha cannot forgive your sin, God cannot forgive your sin, but you can. This is the method shown by the Buddha. So but you never think. The trouble with our Buddhists is this. When Christians talk about their religion, they say Bible says like this. When Muslims talk about their religion, they say Quran says like this. When Buddhists talk about Buddhism, they say people say like this. There is nobody say Buddha says like this. A man who had been worshipping for his images at home for 45 years, one of our members, one day, group of people enter into his house. They say, oh, you are worshipping devil. Do you know? Buddha was a man. He is dead and gone. What do you gain by worshipping this dead man? After that he came and told me, I don't know what to say. 45 years he was worshipping this image. This is the nature of our Buddhism. One day when the Buddha was going somewhere, he met a Brahmin. Do you know Brahmins? A Hindu priest, or teachers and gurus and masters for everything, they are called Brahmin. This man has never seen such serene personality. He could not believe that this is a man, human being. He approached the Buddha and may I know whether you are a god? The Buddha said, no, I am not a god. All the others claim, either God or son of God. The Buddha said, no, I am not a god. Now if we introduce the Buddha as a god, we deprive the status of the Buddha, enlightenment. Because a god cannot become a Buddha. Therefore, how can you introduce the Buddha as a god? So then he asked, there are many other forms of supernatural living beings. The Buddha said, no, I am very natural. Then he asked, are you an ordinary man? The Buddha said, no, I am not an ordinary man. Now confusing in his mind, then who are you? The Buddha gave the answer. Remember, this answer, self-introduction, is a very important. If anybody asks you, now you worship Buddha, you follow the Buddha, can you tell me actually who the Buddha is? Very difficult. This is the answer. Please remember how the Buddha introduced himself. Abhinyayam abhinyatam. Understood are the things to be understood. That means I realized, understood the thing that will exist in this universe. He did not do that within one lifetime. That is why it has taken such a long time for us to develop to attain enlightenment. He developed this understanding step by step. Abhinyayam abhinyata. Bhave sabbancha bhavisa. I have practiced all the great qualities, virtues, principles, morals and ethics and everything in this world. Pahatabbang pahinang me. I have eradicated all the evil thoughts, words and action. Tasma buddhosmi brahmana. Therefore I am not a god, not an angel, not an ordinary man. I am the Buddha. This is the meaning of the Buddha. Now I want you to repeat. You have to learn this today. If anybody come and ask who the Buddha is, person who understood everything in this world, person who has cultivated all the great qualities, virtues in this world, person who has eradicated all the evil thoughts, word, action in this world, that person is called the Buddha. Buddha is not his name. Therefore, they cannot say Buddha was a man. Again, he can say Buddha is dead and gone. Buddha cannot die, please remember. The Buddha cannot die. The Buddha was not his name. After gaining enlightenment, we use this word, the Buddha. In Mahayana schools of Buddhism, introduced three kayas, three bodies of the Buddha. Sambhogakaya, Nirmanakaya, Dharmakaya. Kaya means body. The body that he used to talk, to walk, to eat, to sleep, that is Nirmanakaya. Sambhogakaya, the body that he used to preach, to guide, to advise, and all the religious activities, that is Sambhogakaya. Dharmakaya is the doctrinal body. This Dharmakaya cannot die. Other two bodies disappear, but Dharma body never disappears. I think they have elaborated this by taking the sayings of the Buddha in Anguttara Nikaya, Sutta Pitaka. The Buddha has mentioned, whether the Buddhas appear or not, Dharma exists. Remember this. Dharma is not created by the Buddha. Buddha cannot create Dharma. Dharma is not created by God. Dharma exists forever. When people have forgotten, misinterpreted, misunderstood, then the Dharma disappears from the human mind. But the Dharma exists. The Buddhas appear from time to time for that purpose, to remind us. Buddha has not created any new Dharma. Patura hosi magadesa buddhe dhammo asuddho samleji. Dharma existed long ago. This is not a new Dharma. But people have misinterpreted, maintained misconception, wrong ideas. The Buddha appeared only for this purpose, again to remind us. Now let us take the Buddha, Jesus, Muhammad, Krishna. We have to respect all of them. They have done a wonderful service. They have not created anything. They have pointed out, reminded us, these are your principles, these are your duties
and responsibilities.
This is what they have done. Of course they say given by the God. God has not given anything. Our experience, millions of years, morals, immoral, to understand this, how long it has taken. Before religions come into existence, there were two governing factors, governed whole humanity, two principles, hiri and ottappa, moral shame, moral fear. These two things govern the whole humanity. What does it mean? As human beings, it is disgraceful for us to behave like this. to do this kind of dirty, vulgar, wicked thing, immoral thing, that is moral shame. It is shameful as human being to commit any of these things. Moral shame. Moral fear. Scared to cruel, wicked, harmful, painful, dangerous things. The mind cannot take it. I had this experience one day, few years ago, when I was going somewhere. I saw a group of people shooting crows, flying crows. So I saw how they, one by one, dropping and dropping and dropping. Then I felt how these poor creatures feel when that bullet goes through at once, and I could not tolerate. My heart could not take it. Believe me, I had palpitation. Heart could not take it. Come back, I had to take Valium tablet to calm my mind. That is moral fear. These two things govern the whole humanity. Today we have so many religions, but no shame, no fear. Disappear from the human mind. Every churches, every mosque, every temple, every place of worship, fully crowded. Praying and praying and shouting and shouting and singing. That is called practicing religion. That is practicing religion. But in their mind, anger, jealousy, grudge and ill will and cruelty, all these are boiling. When they come out from these places, they start fight. Where is religion? Religion is not in the church. Religion is not in the temple. Religion is not in the mosque or koil. Religious in our mind. Remember this. There is no temple, no church without religion in our mind. A group of people are worshipping, praying in a church or in a mosque for their protection. Praying and praying and praying. Then suddenly a gunman comes, 50 died, 100 injured. Then where did they go to protect? They are worshipping for protection. I think when that gunman entered the church, God also ran away. Because that is not the way to lead the religious life, my dear friend. The more we develop some sort of understanding, kindness, sympathy, unity, harmony, to live without harming, disturbing others, then we are naturally religious. Not necessary to use any labels. Not necessary to say we are Buddhist, we are Christian, we are Hindus, we are Muslims. These labels, they fight for the label, not for religion. One group tries to drag others into their group, others try to drag into this group for label. To give new label. Change old one and put new label. Then they say, oh, change. Converted. One person cannot convert another person. Please remember this. I cannot convert you. You cannot convert me. I can give a lot of ideas for you to think and understand, then you convert your own mind. Remember. Example. You are very cruel, but you know it is wrong. But you do not know how to get rid of this. Then you go to your God, kneel down and pray, please take away my cruelty from my mind. Do you think God can do that? Impossible. You are the one who can stop this. Withdraw that from your mind, that cruelty. God cannot do that. How can He wash away the sins committed by people? Sins or the bad karmas committed by the mind. If God cannot change our mind, how can He wash away our sin? They say, when human beings become very cruel and wicked and immoral, he will destroy the whole world. If he can destroy the whole world, why not he adjust one or two screws in our mind and become a good people? He cannot do that. If he can destroy the world, why he cannot adjust and change our way of life? He cannot do that. These are the things you have to think, unbiasedly. So remember, this Buddhist concept, there is no one particular place located anywhere which is called hell, one particular place which is called heaven in any part of the universe. But after our death, our existence takes place in the pleasant or unpleasant, fortunate or unfortunate places, according to our own karma. Karma has no religious label. Karma is committed by Buddhists or Christians or Hindus or Muslims or freethinkers. Karma is karma. No one can change karma. Therefore, it is our duty to understand this, not the religious labels. If you don't like to say you are Buddhist, not necessary. But principles are there. Duties are there. Obligations are there. You cannot neglect them. Not the religious label. Then the Buddha, before his enlightenment, previous birth stories, what he has done for gaining enlightenment. Do you think he was born in Buddhist families all the while? We were Buddhists at that time. Therefore, religious label is not the important thing. Principles, the qualities, the virtues, understanding, label is not important. So, there is no doubt after our death, definitely existence again takes place. Dying is just like setting sun here this evening. That sun which disappeared from here become the rising sun in another country. Here, dying is setting sun. Rebirth is rising sun. The same sun. Again, life cannot die. Remember, life exists in this body. Body is the house. This is not the life. When this house is going on decaying and collapse, the life goes away. Mental energy, karmic energy, all these energies joined together become a very dynamic force. Proceed. Then started to build another new one. That is called rebirth. Here remains only that old house. Formerly we had 4 elements while we are living. After our death, only 2 elements. Heat energy, motions also disappear. Only solidity, fluidity remain here for a certain period. After that, again dissolve. The life is gone. But we do all sorts of things here, worshipping, praying, offering, chanting, but these for our own satisfaction. We feel some sort of relief when you do something out of gratitude for our departed father or mother, anybody. But this body is the whole house. That person is not here, nothing, no connection whatsoever. Therefore we go and burn or bury that old house. But life started again there. So this is natural. Whether we are belong to any religion or whether we believe makes no difference. All these are natural occurrences. No one can deny. We have more than enough evidence to prove that existence again is true without depending on religion. Religion is not important for us to understand that existence again after our death is natural. More than enough evidence. Therefore don't say, I don't believe it. Whether you believe or not, you have to get ready for that. You have to prepare for that. Another advantage of becoming human being is this. All the other living beings in this universe, do not know how to prepare for the next life. Only human beings. While we are leading, spending our good karma or bad karma, facing problems, we are also accumulating fresh karma for our next existence. Punyani paralokasming patittha honti paninam. Here saying so. After our death, only our karma, our good karma, support us when existence again takes place. Nobody else can support us there. If we have done bad karma, instead of supporting, disturb us, make us to suffer. Human beings can understand this. Animals, even devas, brahmas also know such idea. They spend for a long period, far better than human beings, experiencing worldly sensual pleasures. But when the karma is extinguished, evaporated, they don't know what will happen. But as human beings, we can understand. We can prepare. Then we can depart from this world with confidence. Remember, to depart from this world with confidence. Then fear, worries, confusion, suspicions all disappear from the mind. Hopes and confidence they are in the mind. Then not scared of death. The founder of Sikh religion, Guru Nanak, says, everybody is scared of death, but I am waiting to welcome, because I like it, because I want to get rid of this. Why are you scared of death? This is the solution. Try to create some sort of confidence in your mind, then fear disappears. Any moment we are ready to face this, then we can understand that the next life may be better than this. When the passport is expired, my dear friend, why are you worried to renew it? Renewal of your passport is the rebirth. This is more than enough for you to understand. I am asked to speak only 1 hour, now more than 1 hour. Anyway, I would like to give for you to ask some questions. This is very interesting. Now, because I have mentioned some sort of controversial and ideas that usually Buddhists do not talk. Everybody is talking about heaven and hell, and there are such places, and praying to go to heaven and try to avoid hell. But here I explain in different ways, for you to understand through your common sense and understanding. Thank you very much also.
Thank you, Venerable Sir, for the most inspiring talk. The Venerable speaks with resounding simplicity of all true masters. It's question time. You may put forth your questions, and you can seek the advice and guidance from the Venerable himself. Any questions? Okay, perhaps I start the first question.
Adi Kema, I have a question here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Please, yes.
Evening Bante. Well, the question is, the setting sun in one country is the rising sun of another country. So we are talking about rebirth here. And I've always been wondering, is rebirth immediate? Because I'm very confused by the 49 thingy, you die, and after that, 49 days you wander around the earth, maybe you come back to visit your friend and relatives, after that then you go. But from the Theravada reading I have,
I think enough,
yes.
I can understand.
Thank you.
It is very easy to understand. When you throw a stone, do you think that stone remains without dropping? When you shoot a bullet, do you think that bullet can remain without striking? Death and rebirth is like that. No interval. All the others are imagination created by us. What is this, the Buddha's interpretation? Viññānaṁ mātuguccismiṁ okkamati. When that departed consciousness transmitted from here directly enter into a mother's womb, with the humans or animals or any other form, according to the karmic canons. No interval. We have created all this imagination. The departed person will come back. And recently I went to attend a funeral, and a very rich man died, and people say, we are scared. Then I asked, why? Why are you scared? He may come back. Then I told, so much better. You are crying because he departed. If you think he will come back, so much the better. You must get ready to welcome him instead of worrying. All these things. Now some people say after 7 days he will come. Must be very careful. Now everybody is sitting quietly. Then suddenly cat jump through the window. Ah, there he is coming. He is coming. All created by us, my dear friend. Anything else?
Any question?
Yeah.
A gentleman over here, yes.
Yes, Reverend. I would like to ask a question that was asked in one meetings by another society, something like that, about karma. And this question was raised, and there were no satisfactory answer. Perhaps you could enlighten me. But the point is this: assuming that a person has accumulated 100 points of misdeeds in the past, and then in his present life he has to pay back the bad karma. And suppose now he has paid back just 40 units of bad karma sufferings, and he realizes it, and he transforms himself and starts to be good and do good things and so on. So will the other 60% of the bad karma have to be repaid in this life?
No, it is a good question, you know. There are many things that you can learn from these questions. Just now I mentioned that we can overcome the bad effect of the bad karma by creating more and more good karma, right? Assume we have done a lot of bad karma. After that we change our way of life, develop more and more good karma. Then rebirth has taken place in a very fortunate state. Why? Good karmas are heavier than the bad karma. But we cannot wash away. We cannot stop the bad karma. It still follows us. Chayava anupayini. Our karma follow us just like chaya, our shadow. Until we attain nirvana, certain karma, the Buddha, Moggallana, certain other disciples had to face. Certain karmas follow after that. Only after attaining nirvana will be free from the effect of the karma. So we can continue. Assume we have done more karma. Bad karma has no chance. In the next life also we create more good karma. Again bad karma has no chance. Then we continue life after life. Bad karma still cannot catch. Then attain nirvana. Bad karma had to withdraw. This is the nature of karma.
Reverend, may I ask another question?
Another one?
Another one.
Yeah.
Yeah, another one. Now, simply this. If no good can come out of nothing, but some good can come out of fear, which is preferable?
Of course, we have to analyze this by using our common sense. We are talking about fear, isn't it? Fear can support us for our protection, for our precaution, and take necessary, take action to protect us, support us, started because of fear. In that sense, fear is important. Here I am talking, fear means fear of death. If fear is there in our death, then that is not a good attitude. We pollute the purity of the mind by that fear, worries, suspicion. So we had to prepare to depart with pure mind, reduce attachment, reduce craving, reduce responsibilities, have free mind. Then can recall. When the mind is free, you can recall all the good deeds done earlier. Then gain happiness. If you can recall, if you can remember certain good things that you have done earlier, then happiness appears, thinking that your next existence cannot become unfortunate. Then gain confidence.
Reverend, I asked if I may continue. Somehow or other I'm steam up already.
Okay, let us steam.
Yeah. No, I am saying this out of situation. You are talking of man having to need understanding as the basis of his progress. And in this world there are intellectuals all over. And there are mafia crooked intellectuals also. Really. And they do bad things by the intelligent people also. So purely using the intellect and so on, is it sufficient to overcome one's weaknesses? Or, as I said, when I have to use the word fear, because for a simple example, if you say, don't litter the street and so on, keep the city clean and so on, just like that, you see, you can find the place as dirty as anything. But once you say, if you litter, I find it $500, then you begin to see the difference. Because the element of fear is there. And fair to say, in society, isn't it the fact that the element of fear is used as a means of, making people be more orderly and do good? And if so, as I said, somehow or other, it is there, and then we have to accept it as being able to produce some good out of it.
Now I do not know what is your question,
Excuse me, I'm just as confused myself.
I don't know whether you have that fear or not.
No, because in school, I think you're teaching people, don't do this, don't do that, because out of fear, then the person conforms like other religions. As you said,
look here, my dear friend, if you listen to the Buddha, then you can understand. The Buddha says, fear appears, whose mind? Fool's mind.
Oh, I see.
No understanding, then fool. The fear appears. Because if understanding is there, no fear.
Oh, and how can the fool become wise?
Of course, they are the one who can become wise. Fools can become wise.
What are the steps and procedures?
My God, they have to go a long way for that. I think better to stop that subject. Anything else? Anything else?
Venerable, this is a question from a member of the public here. It says, the recent death of living beings who have the foot and mouth disease. What is your comment on this as far as karma is concerned?
Their karma or
the dead, those who had this disease, the foot and mouth disease.
The Buddha has rejected three things. Remember, first thing, everything that which appear very unpleasant or miserable things are due to our previous karma. Only some of them, not all. Due to so many other reasons, sicknesses, troubles, problems, suffering, difficulties we have to face. Due to our mistake, our behavior, or the environment. Previous karma has nothing to do with that. But certain things, yes, definitely. Second thing, everything that which exists here in this world created by God. The Buddha rejected this. The other thing is, everything exists in this world without any cause or without any reason. Buddha rejected that also. There must be a cause. So here, we cannot say it is due to their previous karma. that karma is not a contagious karma for other animals to suffer. There are so many other factors you can discuss with medical, what you call doctors who know how to explain from the medical point of view, and they will explain how this is spread. I thought you are going to ask the other way around. What will happen to those who kill those poor animals? In England, how many cows, and here how many pigs, and some other countries, and what will happen to them, those who kill them? Do they create bad karma or no? By destroying them? That is the question. What is your opinion? Then I can understand how far you have learned. Is there anybody who can say something about this? Whether justifiable or harmless or harmful? It's a very interesting question. Not few thousand, few 100,000 slaughtered straight away. Whether they have created any bad karma or not by destroying them. You can say anything, huh? Yeah? Pardon?
Can you use the mic here, please? Thank you.
I don't think those people that shot the animals created bad karma for themselves. They are doing their duty, their job. It's just like the soldiers going to war and they kill people they don't want to kill, but they have to kill. It's their job.
You are a very dangerous lady, you know. No mercy, eh? No, it is not a joke. There is something for you to learn. There are 5 factors we have to complete to create the bad karma. Pano bhave, pana sanyi, vadata jitta, upakkama, ajivitana. These 5. First, we must understand that there is another living being. If I am alone in this world, I cannot do that. There must be another living being. Second one, pana sanyi. We must know this living being as a life. It's not a dead one. I remember many years ago, early morning when I was walking, I saw a snail upside down. I thought dead one. I picked up and threw, and then I saw jumping. I had it. Now I want to test your knowledge. Did I create any bad karma or not? Why not? That poor creature died because of that I threw him away. Why not? Pardon? That's right. Because I never knew there's a life. That fellow died because of me, but I had no such idea that the life is there. That is the second one. Vadaka chitta. Intention. Due to certain reason, there to anger or jealousy or enmity or grudge or craving, or there must be something behind to create that idea, to implant that idea in our mind, I want to kill. Now when you drive a motor car, you may kill few hundred creatures on the way. You never create any bad karma because you never created that idea in your mind that purpose of my driving is to kill all those on the road. No, therefore you cannot create bad karma. It is not in your mind. It is very reasonable, very liberal, the teachings of the Buddha. Then upakkama. Simply by thinking we cannot create bad karma. We have to do something. Either shooting or cutting or poisoning or beating, we had to adapt some sort of method to kill. Simply by thinking, we cannot create that karma. Now completed 4. We have done everything, but that creature did not die. not completed. Can you imagine it? You knew there's a life, you thought you want to kill, you adopted some method to kill, but that creature did not die, not completed. But by polluting your mind, you have created certain other karmic event, but not act of killing, that karma not completed. Now let us come to this. Intention. Those who kill those creatures never have anger or grudge or enmity or jealousy or ill will toward those creatures. And they never thought that we must destroy them and we had to protect others by destroying them. Intention is this: to protect others, humans as well as other living beings, by destroying them. Intention is good, but action is bad. Understand? So, reduce lot of evil thought from the mind. Therefore, that action is not polluted very badly. Therefore, reactions or the effect is not that heavy. You are not, because the intention is there that I want to kill, the purpose is different here. Because of that actions of killing, definitely there must be some bad effect. But if you kill with anger, jealousy, grudge and ill will and enmity and this, and then you aggravate, increase so many degrees. But you can reduce a lot of thoughts from your mind, action you have to take to protect others. That is the definition. Even mercy killing, euthanasia. Those who want to die purposely, they beg, they want to die. So the doctors come and give euthanasia injection. We cannot say that doctor is completely free from action, reaction of the karmic. But reduce at least 90%, because he never created idea that he want to kill this patient. He requested, but he cannot tolerate his suffering. He want to stop. He want to see the end of these things. Ask the doctors to support. Doctor is not completely free. Again, another person is in the hospital. One pipe here, another pipe here, another pipe here, another pipe here. Then doctors ask, do you want us to remove all these things, but he cannot survive? Then people ask whether it is a killing. It is not actually killing. We have been holding that life without allowing to depart through this pipe. So when you take out this pipe, a natural death again takes place. Therefore they are not committing any bad karma for that. I think enough, isn't it? Any more?
Any more? I can, yes, one more question, yes? Can you please come down? There's a mic here. Oh, we can start now. Okay, good.
Oh. Yeah. Can you say where this wind begins? Wind, the wind blow. Can you say where this wind come from? Certain factors, energies combined together, then something else appears. That is how things come into existence. That's what Albert Einstein's theory of relativity is a wonderful discovery. He says one particular thing cannot exist by itself, but by depending on something. Exactly what the Buddha says. You must mean sati idang hoti. Therefore, there must be known or unknown or unseen factors and energies to condition to produce this. One particular energy or element cannot do anything. Always must have support from another one.